It's a simple thing. So open it wide up. You're not going to help 100% of those, but it's a percent. And we walk through and we look at our numbers and it's pretty consistent year after year after year. So you just want to book as many of those call number ones as possible. Every challenge you're facing right now in your health coach business can be boiled down to just 6 core problems, and each of those has a solution. The problem is, as a health coach, you don't know this. And that leaves you feeling overwhelmed and stuck and spinning your wheels and feeling like a failure as you face seemingly infinite problems and questions that you need to solve and hurdles and obstacles you need to navigate, when in fact, there are just 6. Imagine the game changer knowing that it just comes down to knowing these 6 core areas. Imagine the clarity and confidence you would have and what a game changer that would be. And how do I know this? Because this is exactly what I learned from one of my mentors that allowed me to go from 6 to 7 figures, and is the exact thing that allows our health coaches that we now mentor to go from 0 startup all the way to 6 and multiple 6 figures without burning out. Knowing these 6 core problems and knowing that there is a solution for each of them allows that clarity. And I have a saying, clarity is prosperity. So grab a pen and let's start with problem number 1. The first problem you must solve is awareness. We must create awareness that we exist. No one can become your client, and you can't make that difference you know you're meant to make if nobody is aware that you exist. So the first part of marketing is really awareness. So allowing people who don't know you to find out about you. And that can be in 2 forms. One, organic or paid. So sometimes people are doing paid ads, but all of the 6-figure health coaches that we've mentored have all done it with 0 paid advertising. And I'm a big fan of the lean startup. As a health coach, you're usually starting with $0. So you want to keep your expenses as low as possible, but make smart investments. But you can do a tremendous amount of awareness for free. So some of the ways that you can let people know that you exist is getting in front of other people's audience. If you just stay at home and you share your brilliance, you could have the best program in the world. You can have be the expert, world's leading expert in this knowledge wise. But if no one knows you exist, you're the best kept secret. And you as an individual likely have a limited circle of influence. Some people have greater circles of influence than others, but the people that I mentor generally, as a rule, have very small circles of influence. Some of them don't even have a social media account. 6-figure health coach Connie is not on health coach on social media at all. That is one way. Social media is one way, but your own social media is kind of like your own friends. It's a very limited circle. And even if you might have a lot of followers per se, a number wise, the number of people who actually see what you do is limited. So social media is an excellent tool to share your message, offer value, and yes, absolutely do it. But we want to be smarter, working smarter, not harder. So look at how can you get in front of other people's audience in person or online. So that could be speaking engagements, doing workshops, doing lunch and learns, connecting with people who have an audience. Maybe they're in a network marketing company and some of those products that you align with and believe in, there's some great, excellent, clean, non-toxic products. And if you are involved in or know someone who is, sometimes they might like you to speak to their audience. That is a way of getting in front of other people's audience. Podcast interviews, being a podcast guest allows you to get in front of someone else's audience. Doing TV or radio interviews is an excellent way, again, of getting in front of someone else's audience. To create your own podcast takes a lot longer. But if somebody already has a podcast audience, you can create one interview, do one interview, and still have access to that audience. Doing Instagram lives or Facebook live interviews with a doctor or someone else who has an audience. Those are all ways that, for example, Martita did an interview, one of our six-figure health coaches, an Instagram interviews, lives all the time with doctors. She's got a powerful story to share. She interviews them, they interview her, but you'll know that when she's sharing her story in front of somebody else's audience, some of that audience now becomes her audience and knows she exists. And of course, there are ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, and so on. That is another form of awareness. So first problem, you want to know, do people know that you exist? And sometimes, often at the beginning, especially, awareness is one of those problems that you must solve. And that is the area to focus on. If people know that you exist, but then how do you get their audience to become your audience so that you could serve them more closely? Just knowing about you is the first step, but what happens after that? Which leads to problem number 2, which is lead generation. So in the sea of 8 billion people, not all of them are your ideal clients. So how do we find the ones that are meant for you? So in that sea of 8 billion people, we want to create what's called a lead magnet. It's something of value that you offer to your ideal clients that is helpful. It is something that they're interested in, and it's something that you know about that allows those people, that 8 billion people on the planet, to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested in that. That is a topic that I want to know about. And we get the hand raisers. And that's really helpful because not everybody is going to vibe with us. Not everybody do we know how to solve their problem. They might have a problem of, how do I make this car go faster? And that's not a problem you solve. So we want to have the right bait, the right attractive messaging that aligns with our signature program, our niche, the work that we do, our zone of genius. So that second problem, lead generation, we want to have a lead magnet that offers value, that is about our topic. So if people are interested in this little mini sample teaser freebie, that if some of those people will want more. Now, not all of them. Some of them will just see your free video and go, that's enough for me. Some of them will just see a headline and go, that's enough for me. But others will work with you potentially for years and will become your greatest success stories. At every stage of what we're talking about here in terms of a funnel, allow people just to count themselves out. It's all good. It's not going to be 100%. You're going to work with the ones who really want it, who really want the solution that you know how to deliver. So what's a lead magnet? What could be an example of that? The best lead magnets, in my opinion, are diagnostic. It allows the person to realize, gosh, I got this problem. I got this problem and I don't know how to solve it. Sometimes people will give a tool and they think it's a lead magnet, but it doesn't lead anywhere. And it gives people the false sense that they've got the problem solved when they don't. And it actually doesn't lead anywhere. So some mistakes people can make are, for example, we have a book and these are also lead magnets. They're valuable. And some people go, I just want the free book and that's enough for me. And some people say, no, I want to work with you. Show me how to reach a 6 or multiple 6-figure practice without burning out. I'm one of those that wants you to just walk me through it. Don't make me guess. So we do as much as we can in a book, but some people just want the book. That's the stage that they're at. So this is, if this, for example, if someone's wanting to create a 6-figure health coaching practice, they're going to be interested in this. This is our zone of genius. This is what we know how to do. So this lines up, somebody interested in this topic. it will line up. So one of our clients, some of our clients have written books, and sometimes they make a mistake of just giving away the free book. And they know that I give away the free book, but they just give away the free book. And there's no way to have that ongoing conversation. Or they'll sometimes say, the way to improve your stress is meditation. It's all about meditation. Here's how, and breath work. Here's how you meditate. Here's how you breathe. Any questions? And people will go, nope, you told me I need to meditate. Got it. And I got to breathe. Got it. I got it. Do I have any questions about that? No, you did a really great job of explaining that. And then they go off. And what are the likelihood that they're actually, if for 50 years they've never meditated and done breath work, what are the odds that they're actually going to do that? So we want to engage them and have them. That's helpful. It's not wrong. Meditation and breath work's not wrong. It just gives them a false sense that they've actually solved the problem when they haven't. So we want it to lead to generally a sales call, a conversation. You want it to lead to the next step, a first date, if you will. So the lead magnet could be a quiz, a survey that allows someone to go, oh gosh, my hormones are out of balance. Or, man, I didn't know I was that close to burnout. I didn't know that I had gut health. I didn't know that those autoimmune, I didn't know this bloating wasn't normal. I didn't know this exhaustion and fatigue wasn't normal and hair loss wasn't normal because everybody around me stressed. I thought that was normal. I thought that aging was just normal. So the diagnostic lead magnet allows people to go, hey, wait a minute. These symptoms are your body crying for help. It's a warning. It's an opportunity. And then you can get on the call with them and have a conversation to help them take it to the next step, offer some further guidance about how can they address whatever their underlying issue is. So the second problem is lead generation. You want to have all of those people that find out about you, you want to have a way for them to come in a little bit closer to you if they have questions. And let's take a look and see how good of a fit are they and offer some value. And it could be a masterclass, it could be a book, it could be a PDF, it could be a quiz. It's some sort of value where they get to know, like, and trust you a little bit further. They get some of their answers, but more importantly, they get greater clarity on the question that they have themselves and whether or not they want to solve it. So when we do lead generation, what's it leading to? It's leading to a call, which brings us to the third problem that you want to solve. And the third problem is sales process. So you want to have a non-salesy sales system. And what I teach is to have a diagnostic sales system. So I come from a medical background. I was a medical doctor for 25 years. And I'm used to, when somebody presents with a problem, with a challenge, that you ask questions to further find out, diagnose what's going on and what's the scenario. And so that's what you'll do in this conversation. And you're really having a conversation with this person to find out where exactly they are and to see, can you help them? So a lot of times health coaches, what I know for sure about health coaches is they love to teach and they love to heal, and they usually suck at sales. They get all wadded up about mindset. They don't want to sell, especially when they say things like, well, I don't want to sell to my family or friends. And what I hear, I wonder, why would you not want to help your family and friends? But sometimes there's this false belief that taking an exchange for money for a service means something evil or negative, when in fact, what I know from having years of being queen of free, because again, I know this because I was this, I gave everything for free. And then finally, one day, I had to stop killing people with kindness. So I encourage you, stop killing people with kindness. It is serving your people-pleasing tendencies to have people just like you. And that's not cool. You got to get over that people-pleasing tendency so that you can actually make a healing difference in the world. It's the truth. That's a little truth bomb there. And I get it. We got to kind of go through that. But when you think about it, and hopefully you don't I had so many people. Would they come to my free talks and free sessions and free consultations and all of that for free? Because I was a doctor. I was already making a great income as a doctor. We'll talk more about that in other episodes, the challenge. I've had the extremes of income, very high and very low. We'll talk about that journey. I wouldn't want any of you to have that big roller coaster. But I will say at that stage, because I was a doctor and because I earned a great income as a doctor, I felt, and especially in Canada where we don't ask for money, I did not want to charge people. And so I would do it for free. And I was a people pleaser. And what happened was people would go, "You're so nice. You're so generous. Look at how smart you are. Oh, look at how awesome you are. You're so nice, not like those other people. Thank you so much for giving all of this to me for free. Thank you. Thank you. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." And then they didn't change a thing. How was that helpful? It took a lot of time and it broke my heart. It really broke my heart. And so I don't need their accolades. I don't want them to stroke an ego. That's not why I was doing it. That's not why you're doing it. Instead, bring them into your container of transformation. That's what we need to do, is bring them into our container of transformation. And you're not going to cure them in a text or in a phone call. It is a process. Transformation is a process, and it takes some time to switch their identity of identifying with that victim or that disease label, to unravel that to becoming the healthy, vibrant, positive, disease-free individual. It's a process. So invite them in to that process. And that's really what the sales call, when done right, is. So the outcomes first, I like to just get people on an initial quick call. You can call it a triage call. Again, back to my medical background, but just a quickie triage call. Someday you can have other people do your triage calls. I have that. So that you can just find out, because some people, it might be way off. They might think, you're going to help them with their plumbing or, clean their windows. And you're like, oh, wait, no. So you want to bring all people in though, even just for 15 minutes, because you know what? A lot of those people you can help. So I like to keep the barrier to reach you on that first call, unless you have a fully booked calendar, then we want to add in speed bumps for sure. But at the beginning, if you do not have enough people to talk to, keep that wide open, because you're going to learn about what problems people have. It'll help you feedback and deliver better messaging when you're hearing what they are saying. What are they saying that their problem is? And you can bring back those words. When I started out, people were asking me, when I started out helping health coaches with their business, and I was a successful health coach at that time, and I was not formally helping anyone with their business, just free tips. But they were coming to me and asking, could I help them create a signature program? And that's the word that they were looking for. They wanted me to help them with the signature program. And initially, of course, I said no. And then that led me to write my book, Free to Heal. And the rest is kind of history now. But that phrasing, I hadn't really used it before, but yeah, it's like a signature. It's unique. It's tailored to your niche. So they will give you great words. They maybe say exhausted, or one of my clients used as part of her messaging, anxiety hit me like a freight train. I mean, what a great phrase. Like that is something your clients, your potential clients, when you're on a call with them, they'll talk about their feelings. And you're like, yep, that's a great way of explaining it. And so do the quick calls and find out. Now, if you that's a first date. So do your, have a first date with lots of people. Don't judge them. This is one of the mistakes that health coaches make is they prejudge. They'll say, "Oh, that's a family member, or they don't have money, or they don't have that much weight to lose, or they seem pretty healthy." Don't do that. Get on an initial call with everybody. As many calls. The person who does the most initial calls, I call them call ones for obvious reasons. The person who does the most call ones has the most clients, makes the greatest impact, makes the greatest money. It's a simple thing. So open it wide up. You're not going to help 100% of those, but it's a percent. And we walk through and we look at our numbers and it's pretty consistent year after year after year. So you just want to book as many of those call number ones as possible. And there on that call, you're finding out, what's their number one challenge with their health? Do they want to solve it? Do you kind of remotely think you might know a thing or two and might want to solve it and might want to solve it for them? And you don't have to dive in any further than that. And just kind of like, what would ideal look like for them? Those are some of the things that I would get on that initial call. What's the problem? Do they want to solve it? Do you know how to solve it? And do you want to solve it? And what's their ideal? Those are kind of some of the things that you want to get from that little quick 15-minute call. And then you want to book another call where you can dive deeper. Now, if they show up on that initial call and they're rude, they're ignorant, they're well, naked, that's another game changer. One of our people had someone show up like that. So yeah, we're not going to put that through. Drunk would be another one. But other than that, I'd bring them through to a second call and dive deeper. That doesn't mean you're going to offer to help them. That doesn't mean they're going to accept, even if you offer. But it allows you to get to know your niche even better. And your goal is to always leave people better than you found them. That's the intent. And so you want to offer some value even on those calls and them getting clear on where they are at. And some of them have a decision to make. I mean, they may have been eating junk food for 50 years and now's the time, like line in the sand. But it doesn't matter whether you think that they should change. It's up to them. They have to say, that's it, no more. I've been a smoker for 50 years and no more. Or I have, been carrying this excess weight and no more. Or I'm done with having this knee pain. Or I'm done with having migraines. I'm ready to invest. Or I'm done with Hashimoto's and I'm ready to try and figure out how to reverse this. So it's going to be a moment of truth on that second call. And on the second call, I highly recommend you book at least an hour for that. And we'll dive into that on future episodes on what exactly to say on some of these calls. But what you're really diving into is, what have they tried? How badly do they want it? Do they want to change or not? And do you know how to help them? And then at the end, if they want help, if you know how to help them, if they don't have a better idea to solve it, if they have a better idea, I just say they should do that. There should never really be any comparison. If they have a better idea how to solve it, they should go do that. Because otherwise, they'll be kind of half in and half out of your program. They're like, I knew I should have done Weight Watchers, right? If they want to do Weight Watchers, you go let them. And then if that works for them, great. And if it doesn't, they know where to find you and they come back. It's so much better. You only ever want to be their best idea. And that comes from having a heart-centered diagnostic conversation that leads into your program, which leads to the fourth problem that you must solve, which is a way to deliver results. You need a vehicle to deliver results. What I recommend and teach health coaches, so depending on what type of business you have, this can vary. Some people are product businesses and service businesses, but as a coach, a wellness entrepreneur, we're offering a service and we are looking at getting these people results. So this is where having a signature program that is your method that delivers excellent results is so important. And this ties back into having your purpose-driven expert niche that I talk about all the time. And your purpose-driven expert niche actually can assist in solving problem 2, lead generation and awareness and client attraction, those number 1 and 2. That's having a great niche also attracts people to you, but also having a niche allows you to work in your zone of genius expertise, those things that light you up, that area that lights you up that you do even if people didn't pay you, and those things that people are already asking for your help with that you have a track record in, your expertise. And that intersection is the sweet spot, your purpose-driven expert niche. So your signature program is a series of steps designed to take people from the problem that they have that they're looking for you to solve, to help solve, and the dream come true, the solution, the results at the other end of that. There's many ways that you can structure it. And potentially there's more than one right answer. I will say that we now have a system. We've actually licensed our system because it's just proven over and over. But I will say that first chunk, it's 12 weeks, it's 90 days or less. It could be shorter, but you want it short. That first little bit you want short when you're creating a signature program to help people through. You can teach people anything really in 90 days. They can't get all the way there generally forever and ever, but you can teach them. So for example, somebody might need to lose 100 pounds. Well, you can help them lose 20 pounds in 3 months, but you won't be able to help them lose 100 pounds. However, you can teach them in 90 days everything they need to know to lose 100 pounds. So you just got to do it over and over and over and over and over again. So that first bit, I recommend that process where you teach them everything they need to know to get them from bad gut health to great gut health. You can teach them that. So look at what is the problem that you solve, what's the dream that you deliver, and then how can you break that down into bite-sized pieces so that you walk people through your process and your process becomes proven and repeatable, and you'll always work to make it better. And I always teach our clients to be just 100% committed to your client's success. You give them your absolute best, but you can't give them you're going to be way better 20 years from now, but you can only give them, and you're going to be way better 5 years from now, but you can't give them your 5 year from now best. You can only give them your right now best. And again, remember, if they have a better idea, they should do that, not you. You only want to be their best idea. But most of the people that you're talking to have no idea how to get on the other side of this. You will be such a blessing for them. People are literally dying for your help. This is why I'm on a mission to help this world be a healthier, happier place, and do that by helping and empowering more of you, amazing health coaches, to create so soul-satisfying 6-figure health coaching practices. So that's number 4. You want to have a vehicle to deliver results and always work to get it better and better. Now, the 5th problem is the problem that everybody wants to have. And the 5th problem in business is scaling. So what got you from 0 to $250,000 is not the same thing that is going to get you from $250,000 to $1 million. So scaling is a whole other process and really a whole other conversation than for the people that are generally here. But at that stage, you're looking at paid ads sometimes, hiring, creating an org chart, and really getting clear on your vision for your company. How big do you want to have it or not? Do you want to keep it the same, but have it more streamlined? Or do you want to scale it and help more people? And then who do you need to hire first? How do you restructure your process if required so you can eliminate bottlenecks and so on? And how do you put on your CEO hat to go to that next level? So that fifth problem is the problem everybody is hoping to have. And then the sixth and final problem that you must solve is non-business problems. My mentor called it drama. Anything that doesn't fit into one of those other 5 categories is not directly related to your business. And it usually involves mindset and emotions. So it usually is you tripping yourself up, imposter syndrome, money mindset beliefs, those sort of things, other things that are happening in your outside world, time management issues, although some of those can filter under the other categories. And the best solution that I have for that is the Love Elevator. And if you want, you can check out love-elevator.com. And I have a little free course there that I have that explains this process. And I use it as our guiding light, not just in business. Our clients share it with their clients. Our clients share it with their families. Rachel, our first 6-figure health coach, she would have her little son would come to her and say, "Oh, I got to get into the Love Elevator." And right now you're like, what the heck are you talking about? So it's a process, and it's a metaphor, and it's a framework that you can use because, well, let me just quickly just explain how that works. But I go into more detail in love-elevator.com, which, by the way, is not a lead magnet. It's open to the public, and it is to be used by anyone. My gift. So Love Elevator is, imagine if there is a number line in front of you. Remember from school, there was a number line, and there's positive direction is on the right side, the numbers go in the positive direction. And then from that 0 point in the left direction, it goes negative. So imagine that. And then imagine a vertical line, and above the horizontal axis, it goes more and more and more positive. And below the horizontal axis, it goes more and more negative. Now, let's take that map, and that was our Be Good For You Awakening map that I talk about in all of my books. Let's take that and let's make that a building. So imagine walking into the neutral lobby of this building. And in this neutral lobby, you can go to the right into the Love Elevator. And in that Love Elevator, you'll see in ascending direction, willingness, you'll see satisfaction, willingness, optimism, belief, enthusiasm, passion, love, joy, freedom, enlightenment, all that good stuff. All of your health coach clients, your freedom, your health, your joy, your amazing relationships, they're all right up here in bliss, right up here. This is where you're trying to get to. But you have a choice, choose your floor. From this neutral lobby, you could go in the negative direction and go in descending order all the way down in the fear elevator. And we have courage and pessimism and frustration and overwhelm and disappointment, doubt, worry, blame, anger, revenge, jealousy, unworthiness, fear, grief, apathy, depression, guilt, and shame right down there at the very, very bottom. So you get to choose your floor. Now, you might be in a situation of overwhelm, and You can ask 10 people, and 10 people could say you are exactly justified in feeling overwhelmed. And overwhelm and frustration were my two floors that I hung around the most in my life. And you might be on overwhelm and you have this idea, like I used to have this idea, I'll just work harder. I'll just work faster and faster and faster. And the faster I went on overwhelm, you know what happened? More got whopped on my to-do list. So I just couldn't outrun it. And if you're on overwhelm, there's nothing you can do except for get to neutral. And from overwhelm down here, you don't have access to the love elevator up here. You don't have access. It's a different elevator, but you can get to neutral. And from neutral, you can get over into the love elevator. How do you get to neutral? Meditate, take a nap, enjoy your favorite cup of tea, appreciation, gratitude lists, all of those raise your vibe. So I go into a lot of detail with this with our clients, but also in the Love Elevator training course about frequencies and all that good kind of stuff. But the truth is, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is you get to choose your floor. And that Love Elevator, it's unconditional. So it doesn't matter what the conditions are. You absolutely may be 1,000% right that you deserve to feel like a victim, but that doesn't help you. But when you can get to neutral, that's where all the magic happens, which is why we have so many examples of clients. One of Rachel, our first six-figure health coach that we co-created, went to Hawaii with her family, came back and had 4 clients. They came to her in one day. You can't insta-spam enough people to get 4 clients in one day. You can't pay for enough ads to do that. So the Love Elevator is the secret sauce that we teach to as a solution to that. So, and you can have all of that for free. You can access it. I really feel like that is going to change the world. It's changed my world. It's changed our family's world. It's allowed me to navigate some really rather tragic and horrific circumstances. I don't know where I'd be without that Love Elevator. And my clients say the same thing. So it's a simple tool, but it's also very profound and it's meant to be shared. And so love-elevator.com. One of the things is, though, that my clients would try to tell their clients or their family how this worked. And it just sounds weird if you're like, you got to get in the Love Elevator and people are going to look at you kind of strange. So that's not going to work. So they asked me to create something that they could share if I could teach it and explain it, which like I had with them. So that's love-elevator.com. So those are the 6 problems that you must face. And that's it. Any question that you have falls under one of these 6 categories. So then what you do is when you're feeling stuck and you're feeling overwhelmed and you're like, I don't know what to do, I feel like I'm ready to give up, then ask yourself, what is the actual core? Get to the root cause. What is the root problem that we have? So for some of you, if you're not making $250,000 already in your business, it's not number 5. So we're just left with 5. If you have no one to talk to and nobody knows what you do, awareness. We got to start with awareness. So letting people know that you exist. If you have people that you're talking to, but they're just saying, good job, thank you very much, then we have a lead generation problem. We need to bring more of those people in closer to you and offer them greater value so that they can hop on a call. If you have people that are on a call, on a sales call, but people keep saying, no, it's too expensive, I don't have time, let me think about it, then we have a sales problem. So we got to address how do we handle objections, but that's where we focus our energy. And then we already talked about scaling, and then if you have all of those things working well, but the biggest issue that you have right now is something else. So it's something other than your business that's causing problems for your business, which is a lot often. Uh, Maybe it's narcissistic X or something like that. That distraction is robbing from your business. My solution for that is the love elevator. Some things are quickly solved, some things take some time. Sometimes we're unraveling patterns that are pretty deeply entrenched and undoing limiting belief systems that seem so real that we have so much evidence through our life to back it up, but it's not really real. So we all beliefs are limiting by definition. You know, we believe that that's a true. And if it serves you, keep it going. If it's not serving you, it's time to bless and release and thank it for getting to you here. But we want to move to the next level. And that's where a mentor can really come in extremely invaluable because they can see your blind spots. You can't see your own blind spots. You can be the best hairdresser in the world, but you can't give yourself your own haircut. And and for me, I'm constantly investing in mentors to take me to the next level because I know that I don't know what I don't know. And none of us do. We don't know what we don't know. But somebody who's been there, done that, does know what I don't know, and they can let me know. That's how that's how we learn. So if you are wanting to be a six-figure health coach, definitely take a look at some of these resources that are listed below. You can check out drshaunna.com. There's a number of free books and free trainings. Definitely get a copy of Six-Figure Health Coach. And if you have questions, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what questions you have. If you have things that you want us to explore in the future, I'm really serious about being on a mission to help more of you get your healing gifts out into the world. And with that, the next episode that you might just love is if you're building this business, one of the common questions that I get asked is, when and how do I quit my day job? And having been someone who worked 100 hours a week at the hospital and had to find a way to leave that to create a six-figure health coaching practice, I'm going to give you all the goods in our next episode. So we'll see you there. Be sure to share with a friend. It's important that we get more health coaches and their healing gifts out into the world so we can help this world be a healthier, happier place. Be good for you.